It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. American Airlines Arena, the place, and the Miami Heat will be on their home floor as they go up against the Boston Celtics. Taking a look at Boston, they've been executing at a high level. What a year they're having. They've run up the best record in the NBA with some absolutely flawless performances. They've been a fun team to watch over the first half of the season. And as we reach the midway point, Kenny, still a lot of games left on the schedule. How do players cope with the wear and tear their bodies go through?
Well, a lot of times when you're mentally or physically tired, you could sit there and all of a sudden you misquote things, you missay things here on the analyst desk. On the basketball court, that's turnovers, that's missing assignments, missing rebounds. Same thing. Like I know this is our, 82nd game this year. You're starting to feel it a little bit. That's how those guys feel.
I didn't know the midpoint was the 82nd game, but anyway, injuries start to take a toll.
No, but we've done 82 games. Doesn't mean the team.
We've done a lot of games in our role here in the
right.
I misunderstood
2 games a night, remember?
on the set.
Yeah, anyway, I was saying the injuries, they start to take a toll, not just the big ones, the little ones. Type of injuries I hate are the freak injuries. One time, Ernie, I was walking with my shoes off, stubbed my toe.
That's called barefoot.
That's a freak injury. Stubbed my toe, was out for 6 weeks. So you got to get rest, eat well.
Well, if you kick a brick wall, that's not a...
And man up.
Yeah, maybe you should. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Barefoot.
Butler. Spoelstra is your head coach. Go Miami Heat!
It's an Eastern Conference battle at the American Airlines Arena here in Miami, Florida, as the Heat look to work the home court advantage. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines.
That trade is something that has the staff, players, and fans excited. They think it may be the piece of the puzzle necessary to get over the proverbial hurdle.
And with good reason. I mean, we're talking about one of the very best we have in our league, and you have to think he'd help any team.
And now the opening lineup for Boston. The Cobra out there with David Lee. Then there's Brown. Then it's Thomas. And it's the kid in at the small forward. And you know, Jimmy Butler, now one of the best wing defenders in the game, certainly has the toughness, athleticism, the instincts. Very difficult to score on. Good wing defender, but also very tough inside, too. He's got a lot of grit inside the lane.
He really does. One of the best two-way players in our league right now. I mean, he was a lockdown defender in college, and scouts thought he would be that way in the pros as well. And let's face it, they were right. He can take opposing twos and threes completely out of their rhythm.
Now here's Dang. 14 points from him the last game against the Knicks in New York.
Yeah, and talk about his scoring. I mean, Kevin, with the defense trying to pressure him, he did a good job of getting them to overcommit and getting himself to the line.
And so it's the Heat getting on the board first. Lee, a screen on Lowry. Thomas kicks to Lee. 6 on the shot clock. Brown the pass to Lee. The Celtics need to get a shot off. And it's Dang with the rebound.
And, you know, regarding Jimmy Butler's defense, I'm impressed that he keeps reaching new levels there, especially considering the effort he's been putting into improving his offense. Sometimes you have to give a little to get a little, but Jimmy wants it all.
Now here's Dang. Stats on him, he's averaging 9 points a game.
And, you know, back to Jimmy Butler, we've spoken about him in the past as a guy on the cusp of stardom. Well, he's arrived. I mean, you can now count on him to play at a high level night in and night out, and he does it in such a quiet and unassuming way.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Free throw good. Dang.
I tell you, Luol Deng is not exceptional in any one area, but really doesn't have any weaknesses either. I think he's been one of the most complete small forwards over the past decade in the league.
Dang hits them both. Talking about Luol Deng, his consistency year to year has been outstanding. Over 11 seasons, Greg, if you look at his averages across every category, they're remarkably similar.
And here's a guy can score from anywhere. Great mid-range game, makes plays for his teammates, rebounds at both ends. He is versatile and bankable.
Here's the closer. 20 points for him last game against New York.
And he was also a big factor for them defensively. I think he tallied 4 blocks in the game.
Three-pointer, Butler. That is good. Butler's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
I don't know. There might be more defense in the warm-ups. Right now, these are just shooting game shots.
Now, here's Brown. 20 points for him last game against Orlando.
And don't forget about his playmaking in that game either. I mean, he did a great job of attacking the D and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates.
Bosh, a screen on Thomas. Lowry drives in. The pass to Deng. And a fast break now for the Celtics. Here's the kid, and he finished it off with a lay-in.
Well, they won't be down for long if they can get some more early offense just like that.
And, Clark, the best way to get that early offense is with steals that allows you to get out in transition.
Now here's Deng. He has 5. Outside Butler. Kicks it to Lowry. Clock at 4. Butler, a screen on Brown. Lowry from outside. Knocked loose, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lowry. And here's a group of players that have really been showcasing their versatility recently. The leading three-point shooters among centers and power forwards over the last 10 games. The 4th spot held by Chris Bosh.
And, you know, there was a time in the league when you wouldn't see a group of big guys like this, but the game has evolved. Versatility now is why we see so many bigs that can just flat out shoot it from anywhere.
And these guys are really incredible. I mean, on one trip, they give you points in the paint. On the next trip, they give you points behind the arc. Boy, talk about range and versatility in spades. You got it.
Great looking defense, really, just to disrupt the rhythm on that shot.
Yeah, really turned it from a simple, straightforward look into a very difficult shot.
And off to an incredible start here early from long range.
Lighting it up from outside. Hard to keep up with this.
Thomas dishes to Lee. Thomas a screen. Out left to the wing. Lee is screen on Lowry. Thomas kicks to Lee. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here is Lowry. They really needed more from him in that loss to New York. Pass to Dang. There's the closer. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Celtics trail by 5. Thomas passes to Brown. Thomas dishes to Lee. Thomas sets a screen for Lee. Off the pick. And there's Brown. That's good on the assist by Lee. Brown's got his second basket of the night.
He's hit the ground running here in the first, putting together a nice quarter offensively.
A lot's been made of the Heat fans in the past for walking out during the finals game where they looked to be out of it. But credit, the Miami Heat fans, Greg, with last year sticking with this team.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I would have walked out as well because I thought it was over. But with LeBron out of town, a lot of Heat fans could have jumped off the bandwagon. But you know what? They stayed with it. So although the weather is fair, the fans are not.
Oh, well said. Thank you.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Thomas against Butler. There's a whistle, and it goes on Isaiah Thomas. That is his first foul of the game. Outside Dang. Bosh against Lee. And Lee pulls it down. Looking at Miami, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Knicks in New York.
You know what? A lot of three-pointers, but for me, more so, it was the shot selection on those three-pointers. I just felt like they were just too trigger-happy from downtown.
Greg, sometimes you're able to shoot your way out of a slump, but they just kept making things worse. Sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets.
Now, here's Lowry. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. A different look for Miami. Right side comes in for Chris Bosh. And it's Jennings in for Kyle Lowry. Boston also with the sub. Al Horford is checked in for Lee. Well, a scary moment for Chris Bosh last year. Had to be shut down, Greg, as we all know, for the season after a blood clot was found in his lung.
And Kevin, it really puts basketball in perspective. I mean, it happened right after the trade deadline, and obviously a huge blow to the Heat in terms of their push for the postseason. But fortunately, it looks like he's going to make a full recovery and have a huge impact this season.
Now here's Dang. 8 points for him. Just 5 on the clock. Jennings kicks to Butler. The Heat need to get a shot off. And Brandon Jennings with the 3. Jennings has got himself on the board with 3 there.
Great three-point shooting here out of the gate. That makes 4 makes already from long distance.
Spring music scorching those nets. How long can they keep this up, though? I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
So it's Miami now after the basket by Boston. Right side a screen. Jennings passes to Whiteside. Fires from the corner, and it's blocked by Brown, and it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here. A different look for Miami. Stoudemire's checked in for the closer, and it's P.J. Tucker in for Luol Deng. And then for Boston, Jared Sullinger's checked in for the Cobra. T.J. Warren comes in for the Kid, and Smart subbed in for Thomas. Butler from outside. Butler can't get that one to fall. Celtics trail by 4. Smart with the ball. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Horford with the screen on Jennings. Nice shot by Smart.
Al Horford impeding the defense there with the solid screen.
Well, it was the Boston Celtics winning their last game against the Magic in Orlando.
And really an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it came in an opponent's building, and there's no question it was their offense that carried it.
I love the way they went and got this game, Greg. I mean, they attacked at every opportunity, never relaxed or sat back, and as a result, they eventually pulled away.
Here's Smart. Hassan Whiteside made his last basket. Dishes it to Warren. He kicks it to Smart. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Marcus Smart was drafted to the Celtics as their future point guard. He came in with a lot of work to do and a skill set that people really like. But his first season, Clark, was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. He was an off guard in high school and in his first year of college as well. Really only played full-time at the point the year before he was drafted.
And the first one drops.
And for Smart, though, he still has a lot of work to do on his ball handling and passing. His shooting, I think, exceeded some people's expectations. 37% from the field last year was subpar, but his 34% accuracy from three was solid. He finally started going straight up on his jumper instead of leaning in, and his release looked money.
You know, you talk about Smart's lackluster field goal percentage. Once he gets more comfortable with his ball handling and adjust to the length in the NBA, I think he'll convert more at the basket. That'll also create more drive and dish chances for him as well.
Now here's Butler. 26 points for him last game against the Knicks in New York.
And don't forget his unbelievable steal total in that game. I mean, almost to the point they didn't want to bring the ball up the floor.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Nice shot by Smart.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
Whiteside sets the pick for Jennings. Good work defensively by Horford.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
They've definitely hit that groove offensively.
They sure have, guys. I mean, really aggressive. And I like that posture and mindset. Stay aggressive.
Yeah,
Greg, you like groove, don't you?
I do. Let's groove tonight, Kevin. And matter of fact, let's just stay in the attack mode that we're seeing from these guys. They're getting whatever they want.
And finished off by Sullinger.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound, a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
Stoudemire dishes to Tucker. Soft touch off the glass. Tucker's got his first points of the game.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
Now, here's Warren. Guarded by Tucker. And the shot by Warren, no good. Miami's gone 4 of 8 on their three-point attempts, doing a lot of work from way outside here in the first quarter.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But boy, that was a nice job.
Here's Bradley. Following the basket by Brandon Jennings. Bradley kicks to Horford. 6 to shoot. Here's Smart. No luck. Great D that time from Jennings. The Heat have gotten 7 of their first 16 field goal attempts to go down here in the first. And Stoudemire slams it in.
Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
Amari Stoudemire, with the change of scenery last season, was bought out by the Knicks, signed with the Mavs midway through the season.
That was the best thing to happen to Stoudemire, in my opinion, Kevin. He got to play playoff basketball again, and we know that wasn't going to happen in New York.
So the Celtics called timeout, their first.
And for Stoudemire last year, served as a backup big for the Mavs and was still as efficient as ever.
1:15 left to play in the first. Now here's Smart. Defense is right there. Bradley, no one around him. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Bradley's got it all tied up now for the Celtics.
I don't think Stoudemire will ever be what he once was, but he is a valuable big to bring off the bench for a contending team in limited minutes.
1:04 left to play in the first quarter. Outside Jennings. Right side a screen. The dish to Tucker. And Boston with the rebound.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it.
Now here's Smart. 7 points in the game. Sullinger right side. Good work defensively by Whiteside.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Outside Butler. It's hauled in by Warren.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Always important to have that good interior defense.
It's all tied in Miami. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh about what it meant to him to become an NBA player, the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. What a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy you can't help, Greg, but love for his attitude and ability to be, in touch with that kid he once was. I know you played the same way. Chris Bosh is living the dream like you did and loving it.
That's a great point, Kevin. And I think most of the guys in the league feel that same way. I mean, they may not be able to say it or articulate it as smoothly as Chris does,
sure.
but inside every NBA player is a kid who's still thrilled to wear the uniform and play the game they love.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And let's quickly...
Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam.
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
I tell you what, I like that, though, guys. Some coaches might not want you to make a play like that, but I tell you what, when you got the skills like that, I say go for it.
Here's Bosh, 11 feet out, and he hits it. Bosh has got his first points of the game.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. There's the closer. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. The Boston Celtics figured to be near the bottom of the league last year. In many ways, they outperformed a lot of people's expectations.
And by no means were they a contender at any point, but they very well could be ahead of themselves in terms of the rebuilding process.
Thomas against Lowry. The feed to Dang, and it's blocked by Brown. Outside Thomas. Here's the Cobra. Here's Lee. Rebound by the Heat. Bosh has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Jennings with the ball. Picked up by Brown. Dang passes to Jennings. Here's the closer, covered by Lee. Clock at 6. The kick out to Dang. Takes the 3. It drops for his 3rd basket. He's missed only 1 shot.
He's picking up right where he left off in the first quarter.
Boston's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Screen by Lee. Brown kicks to Thomas. Back to Brown. Lee, a screen on Jennings. Passes it to Thomas. 3-pointer. Here's Lee. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's on Chris Bosh.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
And David Lee missing time early last season with that hamstring injury also opened the door up for Draymond Green to kind of take that starting power forward role. And give Lee credit, though. Didn't sulk, just threw himself into his new role as a super sub.
Greg, you're talking about David Lee, the 2-time All-Star. Pretty much a starter most of his career, though. A big change, Clark, as he came off the bench this past season after he was injured in the preseason.
Yeah, you know, you think about his game, though, Kevin. Highly skilled, mobile, smart. Gives you energy and scoring. I think he's ideal coming off the bench.
Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year, and as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
Bosh with the bucket.
Kyle Lowry with a beautiful setup.
Here's Thomas. He had 16 points in the win against the Magic in Orlando.
And also give him credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man.
They set the pick. It's Brown with the drive. There's the bucket. Good.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball.
Bosh, the screen. Lowry passes to the closer. Feeds to Jennings. Here's Bosh. Here's the closer. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket. And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. So only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
The Celtics have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Picked by Lee. Thomas passes to the kid. Here's the Cobra. He had 10 points in the win against the Magic in Orlando.
And I thought the contribution he made by just generating contact, getting to the line was outstanding, guys. I mean, he picked up a lot of points at the stripe.
Bosh, the screen. Jennings passes to the closer. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession.
Taking a look at some stats for the Cobra. This past month, he's really set himself apart. He's averaging 10 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. So much of what this team does revolves around his offense.
Well, his mindset allows him to stack those points up. He wants to carry the load, and clearly he does.
Shot clock at 5. Lee, that's good. Lee's got the game tied up here for the Celtics.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half. How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Lowry dishes to Jennings. Right side Lowry. Bosh in the post, covered by Lee. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Just some amazing stats put up by Chris Bosh early in his career, but having been in the shadow of LeBron and D. Wade over the past few seasons, one wonders if Bosh is now a little bit underrated. He's talented and gives you everything you want from the power forward spot.
That free throw missing. Well, getting back to Chris Bosh, it's always difficult to reshape your game around a superstar teammate. I mean, just ask Kevin Love last year.
You know, it's such a good point. When you think about Bosh, you know, he isn't the kind of guy who demands special attention. You know, he's not mugging for the press. He's not out there for himself. He just really lets his play speak for itself. And you won't find many bigs who are as versatile as he is. And much underrated, I think, as a pick-and-roll defender. Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat. But he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
Lowry against Thomas. Lowry kicks to Dang. Outside Bosh. Pass to Jennings. He dishes it to Dang. Good ball movement here by Miami. And again, it's the Heat missing. As you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team, and Riley Clark kind of molded him in his image.
And it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to them.
And it's Brown missing.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
And there's the pass to the closer. Cannot hit. And the Celtics going the other way now. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. And that game will be game 3 of 5 away from home. Thomas, that's good. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
You know what? Can you believe there have been 7 lead changes already, guys?
Wow.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
The closer passes to Jennings. Here's the closer. For 3. They get it again. Brown against Jennings. There's the screen. Out to the right wing. Outside Lowry. On the wing, Dang. He feeds it to Bosh. Trying to get back on track. He scores with that shot. Now he's 3 of 8.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm. Well, you can see a change in the play with the Celtics after the trade deadline last year. Adding Isaiah Thomas gave them some pop the bench and really created some balance for them offensively.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Whiteside's checked in for the closer. Stoudemire comes in for Chris Bosh. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Luol Deng. And it's Butler in for Brandon Jennings. Bradley dishes to Horford. Kicks it to Warren. Picked by Horford. Floats one. Miami grabs the miss. And that was something the Celtics needed, adding Thomas, a player that could come in and provide Clark instant offense for them off the bench.
And Kevin, I think that was a turning point for them last year. I mean, they saw that they had a chance to make a big leap forward after the trade and responded accordingly.
Now here's Smart, while recovering. And Horford, here we go. And Whiteside sends it back. And it's the Heat on the break. Ball's knocked loose. Now here's Smart. 7 points in the game. The kid. Oh!
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
I tell you what, I like that though, guys. Some coaches might not want you to make a play like that, but I tell you what, when you got the skills like that, I say go for it.
Outside Lowry. Stoudemire outside. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. And here's Smart. Passes it to the kid. Picked by Horford. Here's the kid. And it's Whiteside with the rebound.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Lowry kicks to Butler. Fades. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
Miami leading by 3. Outside Lowry. Butler passes to Tucker. Over to the left wing. Stoudemire left side. And the wing jumper offline. Boston's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Smart passes to the kid. Picked by Horford. Horford with the screen on Lowry. An easy layup after coming off the pick. 6 points for the kid.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
Now a timeout called by Miami. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Boston.
And they were able to take the season series in that matchup last year, but overall, two teams that were very similar in the standings.
Yeah, they were able to make the plays to come out on top, but it really could have gone either way, and you could say the same for tonight's game.
Sullinger's checked in for the Celtics. Miami's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them. Pass to Tucker. Right side of screen. Stoudemire against Sullinger. The jump hook. Jared Sullinger grabs the board. Sullinger's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Bradley drives in. Warren dishes to Bradley. Warren kicks to Bradley. Now the feed to Smart. Horford sets a screen for Smart. Tries it again. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
The Celtics have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point.
And they've shot the ball well this season in terms of their attempts, 81%.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool and consistent at the stripe this year, I mean, that's impressive.
Brown, he's checked in for Bradley. Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot on his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which was not an injury, of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's a great point, Kevin. If you take any star off a team, things are going to get difficult. It was impressive that the Heat still managed to stay competitive once Bosh went out.
Again, the miss by Stoudemire. Brown outside. Three-pointer. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Boston on top. They lead by 2. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, David, how would you assess the first half of play, and what's going to be the area of focus as you head into the second half?
Well, you know, we weren't shooting the ball well. The first couple minutes, I thought our energy was a little slow, but then we picked it up. Defense, rebounding, and sharing the ball on offense. We do those 3 things, we're going to be okay.
David, you sound like a coach. Guys, over to you at the table.
Okay, Doris, much appreciated. And now for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Hope you've been enjoying the excitement so far. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. Boston found themselves in a close game in the first. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
Well, they forced their way to some easy buckets, aggressively going to the rack, imposing their will. I mean, taking it inside establishes an attitude and toughness that you can't get any other way.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Heat?
Well, they had a strong perimeter game. See, Ernie, when this team executes from long range, those weapons spread out of defense. Coming out in the second half, if those shooters are hot, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
Excellent game we've seen from Luol Deng. He's got 11 points, and from downtown, he's buried 3 three-pointers.
Well, when he squared himself up and gotten good looks, he's knocked them down.